This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh my God. This is, what the fuck? So this beer's episode, who's spilling everywhere right now, is Petacola's Brewing Company Golden Opportunity. It's got an opportunity to make a fucking mess I gotta clean up over here. It's a tall boy. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not bad. Only 4.6. This is more like a Coors Light, Michelob, Miller Lite, Bud Light kind of vibe. Like those that like those kind of drinks, you'll probably get along with this one. And I think they only make tall boys from what I saw, which is crazy because, yo. So anyway, let's get down to it. This is a little extra something for you guys. I got asked at Smoky Rose what made me a fan of certain teams, or what made me a fan of OU and things like that. And it made me think, I have a lot of random ass teams that none of you know or reason with knowing, you know what I mean? Like, you guys just have no clue what those teams are and why I chose to be a fan of those teams. So I figured I'd give everybody here at Beer 30 a fucking history lesson on Ziggy and sports. Buckle up. We're all over the place. As the show sometimes goes, you know that already. But first and foremost, again, like I said, this beer episode is Petacola's Brewing Company Golden Opportunity. I got it at Total Wine, where I get all of my beers at. My favorite beer collection here. You can get beers, singles, you can get kegs, you can get cases. So make sure you stop by there and tell them I sent you. Maybe they'll send me some more money. But anyway, or give me some points, one of the two. But yeah, so basically, let's see, where should I start? I'm thinking I should start with college football. And if you were not at Smoky Rose, you didn't hear the story, or if you didn't hear it live, or you didn't look at the thing, we'll start with OU since the flag is here. OU, so my father's from Oklahoma City, right outside of Oklahoma City in a small town called Shawnee. And he is a diehard Oklahoma Sooners University fan. We were not allowed to have any type of college fan bases really in the household unless it was OU. So I, fell in line. Now, granted, we lived in Texas for a long time when I was young, and it was very hard. It was very hard to convince my friends that my team was the best, because I didn't know shit about football at the time. At the time, anyway. But we rocked with it, and yeah. So, and I was raised in New York when my parents split. So, like, I took that with me, if you will. Like, I never really looked at any other college teams besides OU from basically a damn near a baby. So that was that, you know what I'm saying? So Oklahoma University, only in college football. Only in college football. College basketball is kind of weird for me. I don't really root for a specific team. I really like a conference. I like the Big East. They have the best, to me, some of the best play. They have some of the best games, players, things like that. I was a big Melo fan when he was in college. So, like, Syracuse may have been, but they ain't been really shit. They ain't really been shit since. So I don't know. I just like the Big East, UConn, Syracuse. You have Rutgers. You had Rutgers. Then you have the conference realignment's really fucked up for me with basketball, because I'm like, I don't know who's in what. So I just like a good game in college basketball. I do kind of root. I used to root for Coach K. That was pretty much it, man. I don't know. College just never really was my thing. I knew I didn't want to go, so I never really picked a basketball team or anything like that. Now, on to NFL, because a lot of you know I'm a Packers fan. If you follow the show, if you've heard me talk any other shows or anything like that, I am a diehard Packer fan. But I'm a Packer fan that is a realist, okay? I know when we're bad. I know when we have bad games. I know when we have strong suits. I know when we are great and we won the Super Bowl in Dallas. And yeah. So with that being said, yeah. I became a Packers fan at a young age, as well as just like college football, right? My dad is a Steelers fan, diehard Steelers fan. Tried to get me. I think I had a Mean Joe Green jersey from the age of like 5 until like 12. You couldn't tell him that the Steelers weren't the shit, even though they were absolutely terrible around the age of my age of comprehension. And I mean, all they had to me, I think at that time, was the Slash era when they had Cordell Stewart. But they really, to me, weren't that good. So I didn't want to be a Steelers fan. My mother, being from New York, she is not really a big fan, but she is a Jets fan. But Jets ain't been shit since Joe Namath. And then it didn't help. We moved to New York back with her. We moved, and I went to high school in Uniondale, and the Jets actually practiced down the street from Uniondale High School at Hofstra. And so I would see like Santana Moss and some of the other players and stuff like that when I was in that area. So, it was cool. But I didn't want to be a fan of a fucking sucky-ass, shitty-ass team as the Jets. Like, I could see having, like, one bad year, but ever since I've grown up, I have never seen the Jets be good. Like, they're just 60 years of just garbage. So, for me, I was like, well, I'm going to pick a team. I'm going to pick a color from each team, each of your favorite teams, because I don't want to be biased, and I just want to pick my own fucking team. Wanted my own independence as a kid. And I was this close to picking green and white. And those of you that know those colors, there are two teams in the NFL with those colors. It is the Jets and the Eagles. Excuse me. But I said that wouldn't be fair because, like I said, I wanted a color from each team, or green and black. And, yeah, it was green and black. So it was the Eagles or the Jets. And I was like, yeah, that just doesn't work for me. So I went green and gold because it was a color from actually each team that anybody else had except for one fucking team. Yes, one fucking team. And it was the green and gold Green Bay Packers, or green and yellow Green Bay Packers. And at that time, we had Brett Favre, Reggie White, Antonio Freeman, who was my absolute favorite wide receiver. He, by far, to me, was like, he looked like a cousin, you know what I'm saying? So for me, he represented for me. So yeah, Sterling Sharp. I mean, you name it. We just had some great players then. So I gravitated and kept to that team because I was like, man, this team is absolutely, they're good, one. And then also, you know what I'm saying, the two colors. So, and again, I was young, but shows you how dumb and loyal I was, right? You know what I'm saying? So I was loyal to a fault, and I've been loyal to till this day. My son is a Packers fan. Listen, everything Packers since that day. And I am the only Packers fan amongst my friends. People always say, yeah, I got a friend, Ziggy, he's a Packers fan. He's the only other one I know. But yeah, yes, I know. I am the guy in the friend group with only Packers fan in the friend group. So anyway, moving along. So NBA is kind of funny because I grew up my dad was a referee during the ages of me growing. I mean, hell, he's still a referee actually. Yeah, so he's a referee. He's been a basketball referee since I could walk, and I could remember. And he always wanted us to be in basketball camps. Always wanted us to play basketball, things like that. So it was big for him to. It was big for us to be involved in basketball. So we lived in Dallas at the time, and we basically got into a Jason Kidd camp. And apologies, I didn't want that phone to ring anymore. So basically we got into a Jason Kidd camp, and it was cool as hell. Like, that was when Jamal Mashburn, the Mavericks were there, Jimmy Jackson, all that, right? But I really wasn't big into basketball like that. I was more interested in baseball. So I was more interested in soccer. I was actually really good at baseball, but I just, I don't know, I was try everything, figure out what you like, right? But so basically, long story short, I'm dragging this. But yeah, so basically what happened was we moved to New York around the same time that Kidd moved to New York when he became a Nets player, the point guard for the Nets. Crazy as that sounds, I resonated with that. I have no idea why I resonated with that, but I resonated with that. And so when that happened, Vince Carter came over, Kenyon Martin, Coleman. I mean, they were the original light-skinned, whole squad. So the Warriors, take a step back. The New Jersey Nets were the original light-skinned team, if you will. They had Kerry Kittles, let me not forget about him, Richard Jefferson. I mean, the whole squad was light bright. And for me, when we moved to New York, they were getting good, and Kidd was one of my favorite players because we've been to his camp anyway. So I have a soft spot for the Mavericks, yes. So I do root for them if they're not playing the Nets because I live in Dallas, so it's easy to do, right? But I don't necessarily root for them. I just, hey, good job. I hope they win because the city was on fire when they won the whole thing back in 2000. I think it was 11 or 12 or something like that. The parade was great for them. It was dope. So, but yeah, so I'm a huge Jason Kidd fan. Huge Jason Kidd fan. And yeah, so basically, I'm on fire right now. I don't know what everybody and their mama want to call me. Apologies. But yeah, so basically, the Nets were really good. And then I just chose them. So I've been riding with them since they were New Jersey Nets. I've been through all the heartbreaks. At one point in time, I hated Kobe Bryant. I still to this day hate Shaq as a Laker. They broke my heart on several occasions. But hey, that's what a sports fandom is, right? You ride and die with your team. So I've been a Nets fan pretty much the entire existence of following Jason Kidd, basically. So, was that the early 90s? So that is how I became a Nets fan. That was how I became a Packers fan, and that was how I became OU fan. Right now, not so much, but hey, listen, you got to ride the wave, baby. Now for baseball. I was into baseball, but I played baseball, things like that. And there was only really always one team that everybody talked about, whether you loved them, you hated them, saw them on TV, whatever. They were always fucking talking about this team. When I was in Texas, when I was in New York, when I was in Philly, it didn't matter where we were. This baseball team was talked about so much as a kid, right? Really, still to this day, the fucking New York Yankees. Listen, I know, listen, and people are like, man, but you lived in Queens and you live right down the street from Shea Stadium, blah, not down the street, but I lived close enough to Shea Stadium. My mother asked me this all the time. How the hell did you become a Yankees fan out of everything? Because that's all everybody talked about. And when I started paying attention to what everybody was talking about, I said, damn, this is a good ass team. So I've been a Yankees fan pretty much since I can remember the Yankees. Again, probably early 90s. I'm not that old. But yeah, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm a Yankees fan because, just like I said, I was a kid and I liked baseball, and I listened to everybody talking about the Yankees nonstop. Whether you loved them, whether you hated them, you fucking talked about them. It didn't matter. And to me, I found that so fascinating. And I was like, man, let me just go ahead and let me find out why this team is so talked about. And then once I started digging and doing research at the time, watching at the time, basically I was like, shit, by that time I'm like, yo, I'm a fucking Yankees fan. At this point, I really don't fuck with nobody else. Subway Series happened while I was in New York, and I was rooting for the Yankees, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, that's basically how I became a Yankees fan. It's kind of weird, that one, because I didn't really have any ties or any specific story. Like I said, I found it fascinating that everybody in the baseball world was talking about them. They were just the hottest thing to talk about at the time, and I was like, why? And once I found out why, I became a fan of it. Shoot me. Now, hockey. So, those of you who have watched the show, y'all kind of know already that I'm a Stars fan. So I got introduced to hockey super, super late because we don't, no offense, but not a lot of black people play hockey in America, and not a lot of black people follow hockey in America. So for me, I never really I never even looked at hockey as a sport that I should be looking at anyway, right? Wrong. So what happened was I was in the military, and I was stationed in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we went to a semi-pro or college game. I can't remember now. Excuse me. If someone knows the team name, it's out in Wyoming. It's or it might be in the north side of Colorado, but it's a semi-pro or college team or something like that. And when I tell you, I just went just because it was like, shit, I ain't never been. Fuck it, I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. When I tell you the amount of gore, violence, intensity that I saw, I was hooked. It was the most craziest shit I'd ever seen. People get praised for slapping a grown man into the glass. The fans are banging on the glass when the opposite team slides by. The fucking puck can fly out and hit somebody in the face. It was so crazy. And mind you, the puck, we're talking something this fucking small and just miles per hour at your face while you're trying to skate backwards. What? Nah, bruh. So for me, I kind of watched then, and I kind of let it, whatever. After I got out the military, I came back to Dallas, and I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, oh yeah, the Stars, Dallas does have a Stars hockey team. Let me go see the Stars. Stars weren't that great when I was here, when I first got back, but the intensity was still there. I think they lost that first game I went to, too. Maybe I'm bad luck, because they lost the game. No, we won that game, the last game I was at. Okay, anyway, never mind. So, yeah, basically, I went to the Stars game when I got back, and I was like, yo, I like this. I like this. And the crowd was just as into it as at the semi-pro or college game, whichever one it was I was at. They were just as into it. They were talking shit, banging on the glass, calling the refs punks and all kind of other bad names and things that I will not repeat. Excuse me. But they basically was going left, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they lost that game that I went to, and I forget who they played. That's bad, but I was hooked ever since. And I'm like, look, I'm gonna ride it out with the Stars. I don't want to be a disloyal fan. Like I said, I think they were bad. I got out here in 2006. 2007, so they weren't that good in 2007. So we had to ride the wave. I want to say the Stars may have been actually ass back then, but I don't know. I just wrote it out. I said, fuck it. I'm going to ride it out and figure it out. So I became a big fan of the Stars, and I've just been learning, soccer and stuff like that. I paid attention to in the World Cup. I still pay attention to the World Cup, but when I found out the rules of icing and, all that stuff like that, I started finding out what you can get penalties for. I started finding out the traditions and shit like that. And it was just like, all right, man, I'm a Stars fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, if you watch the Drunken Stars episodes, you know what I'm talking about, because I can't talk about other teams, but I always bring up the Stars. So, listen, that's how I became a fan of all of my teams. I do watch soccer, but I don't have a team in soccer because soccer is just so long. I watch it if it's on. Boxing, Floyd Mayweather still to this day is probably one of my favorite boxers of all time. I never got to see Ali. So Tyson I did see, but Tyson had some letdowns. Still one of the greatest hitters of all time, though. He is definitely one of the best power punchers of all time. But I have to give best boxer of all time, in my opinion, my time, Floyd Mayweather. But yeah, I mean, that's all the teams pretty much that I root for. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you think that I should go check out a sport, because I am interested in all sports, whether it be racing, NASCAR, F1. I have some friends that told me I would enjoy F1. I did not enjoy NASCAR as much, or I did not enjoy the two-way races that they do. Like I saw that shit in like Kentucky somewhere. That shit was absolutely stupid. It was the most. Anyway, not a wrestling fan anymore. It's getting a little too wild for me. And that's pretty much it, man. So if there's any sporting events, though, that you think I should go check out that I would probably like, I'm becoming a WNBA fan. Dallas Wings probably going to be the team, just because of some fact they're in my backyard, and I've been to more of their games than I've been to Maverick game. Well, close. So it's getting up there for the Wings. I go to a lot of their the Wing games. So anyway, thank you for watching. This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock.